called to program this vehicle, which is Corolla 2020, but we're having issue with it. So when you turn it on, so we just came in to take out the dashboard to trace the issue and find out the main problem. So when you turn it on, I've already scanned it. When you turn it on, you can see I'm able to go into the system and there is no fault code. So you can see the system has written no fault code. So this is the issue that we are facing now, and we are trying to find a solution before, if the customer will buy a new control board, we will let the customer buy a new control board. So what I did is I connected my scope to it to check the CAN line, why the system is not giving me the exact thing, the exact fault on the vehicle. And you can see I've taken out, when I even take out the throttle itself, when I take out the throttle, now the throttle is out. I'll go inside and go and scan the vehicle again, and you can see the waveform, the CAN waveform, and you can see it's a bit distorted, so it's not it's not good at all. So you can see the waveform, and there is the unit. So pin 13 and 26 is the CAN high and CAN low. So I've taken out the crank, I've taken out the throttle, and let me scan it again and see, and I'm not getting any fault. So this has been what we are trying to fix, and we have been fighting with it for like days, and the customer has changed to control board, used control board, and any control board that you place on the system, what you get is no fault. So now what I'll do now is, let me turn off the key, and with which I've connected the CAN line already. So I've taken off the key, and now you can see my CAN line is off. So I'll unplug this, and you can see the throttle is still not plugged in, but let me plug it in now. So let me take out this unit, and when I take out this socket, whenever the vehicle is turned on and the control board is not communicating, the fan turns on. So you can hear the fan is now blowing, and you can see my CAN wave is quite okay, which is a bit distorted because of the fan current. So you can see now my CAN wave is okay, and because I've taken this socket out, so what I'll do now is, because there is no communication, so my fan is on, and let me turn it off and give the control board a ground. So this control board uses one ground for all the units, so let me give the control board that ground needed, so which is pin on the second row. On the second row, this pin 2, which is the ground pin. So let me just plug it in there, and you can see my CAN wave, because now the fan is off, so it's a bit okay. So what I'll do now is I will turn on the car, and because I've ground that wire, so now you can see the check engine light came on quickly. And let me read the fault code again and see the fault code that I'll be getting, and voila, you can see all the fault code are on. So that means a sensor is preventing the car from reading a fault code. A sensor or something is blocking the car from reading a fault code, and now you can see that my CAN line is okay. So that means I have to be unplugging the sensors one by one, and you can also see that the socket is out, but just that I grounded the ECM so that I can be able to communicate with the board. So now you can see now my CAN line is okay, which means there is communication and now the vehicle is reading a fault code. So what I'll do now is I'll find the problem, the sensor which is causing the problem, then we move from there. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. So after plugging everything back, you can see the waveform has been stored again, and you scan it and you get no fault code again. Yeah, there is no fault code. So I'll find for the exact sensor and see. So now what we've done is we've taken out all the sensors and we are reading it to see. What about yeah, still a read fault, and now it's able to read fault. So we are trying to identify the actual sensor which is preventing the vehicle from not reading the fault code itself. So we've taken out all the sockets. So what we do now is we will be placing the sockets back, and we will be getting close to where we removed, and so the crank, the cam, every sensor is taken out and the socket has been fixed back, and now we are able to read the fault code. So we are still searching for the actual sensor which is preventing us from not reading the fault code. So now now we have fixed all the sensors back, and we are trying to read the fault code again, and it's now giving us a fault code. So we erase all the fault code and see the ones that will remain in the system. So we are erasing the fault code, and now there is no fault. So what I'll do is I'll read the fault code again and there is no fault. So if I want to know that the fix is okay, I'll take off the map sensor, which means if I take off the map sensor, it's supposed to give me a fault code.
Five, man.
So now you can see when I took off the map sensor, I'm getting a fault code related to the map sensor. So now that means the vehicle is fixed, and I'll be able to diagnose it. So I'll crank and see the issue with it. So now when I go back, I'm able to scan it. So let me move from here and do auto scan and see if I'll be able to get into the system. No, so automatic, and I can't read the VIN because okay. So now I think the VIN is now read. So now I can write the VIN of the vehicle, North America, and with a smart key. So with no. So it's with electronic parking brake, and yes, 2020 model. Now we are able to scan the vehicle, and now you can see my CAN network is perfect and it's okay now. So that means my CAN network is okay, and I'll wait for it to communicate with the vehicle. And I have to cycle the ignition before I do a rescan so that the vehicle will know the actual problem. So let me cycle the ignition and come to diagnose and auto scan. So now that I've taken out the map sensor, I should be able to get a fault code in the control unit, which I was not getting at first. And I think this map sensor contains the intake air temperature, and you can see the communication going on the on the scope as I'm checking it, so that I'll be able to fix the issue related. The vehicle is not able to start, and I'm wondering if I'll be able to use this board. I'll be able to use this board to start this vehicle. If I'm not able to use this board to start this vehicle, I'll let the customer buy a new board so that I'll program it for him and get the vehicle running. So I'll wait for the vehicle to finish scanning, then I'll check the fault code in the ECU. So you can see the vehicle is done scanning and you can see the fault code that I'm getting. All is related to mass airflow, intake air temperature, mass airflow, intake air temperature. So erase, and the fault code will not go away because the sensor has not been fixed. So I want to be very sure of the fault code. Now it's 3 fault code because it was current, pending, and history. So now that I've erased it, it's now either pending or current.
Pending,
So
current,
I'll
and history.
fix the MAF sensor back, then I'll erase the fault code again, and you see the PCM will go to 0. There will not be any fault code in the PCM again. But at first it was not able to read the fault code in the PCM. So now it's done, and the PCM is having 3 fault code. Let me erase it, and it will go to 0 because the sensor has been fixed. And you can see now the PCM has no fault code and it's passed. So the rest will still remain because there are issues with it, and it's an accident vehicle, and we are here to start the vehicle. So we'll try our best and see what we can do best. So now the PCM has no fault code because all the sensors, the socket has been fixed. And most of the time you can only find some faults when the vehicle is running, or other sensors when they are needed to be, like the sensors are needed to work before it can record that fault code. So now there is no fault code, and we will try it. So now after the ID registration, now the vehicle is running perfectly, and it was due to this fault code. So we did an ID registration for the new ECM, and you can see the VIN number now, and now the vehicle is running. And I'll erase all the fault code for now, and I'm coming. Let me turn off the engine. So let me take the machine to the vehicle. Pacho, dumne start, mame. Dumne bi ekinipe. So I'll erase all the fault code and start the vehicle again and see which fault code will come after the ID registration. Pacho start, mame. So now you can see the vehicle is running now after the ID registration. And now we are successfully programmed the 2020. We have successfully programmed the 2020 Corolla. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.